So I'm going to solve the varsity question number 1, which says find the position and the velocity at 1.5 seconds. So these guys are our initial velocity that we got from the first page. So this is 25 cos 57, 25 sine 57. Then it's always true, this is always true, that this is 0, that's negative 9.81. The final velocity, it's always true that it's the same as this one. Here, though, I don't know anything about this. I'm going to use v equals u plus at. Right, so it's going to be this plus this times this to get that. So 20.9668 plus negative 9.81 times 1.5. And I get that it's still going up. It's 6.2518. Positive, so it's still up on its way up. And then for the displacement here, I'm going to use ut plus 1/2 at squared. But I could use at that point, I could use any of the formulas. Like you could use v squared over whatever. V squared is u squared. So 20.9668 times 1.5 plus 0.5 times negative 9.81 times 1.5 squared. That's 20.41. That's one of our answers, right? And then here, I'm going to use s equals ut plus 1/2 at squared. But since there's no acceleration, this guy's 0, right? So I'm going to do this. So 13.616 times 1.5. And somewhat surprisingly, this one's 20.42. So having done that, boys and girls, having done that, right, I think you all did your SUVOT and you got this for the first varsity question. But remember it said, what is your position? Well, you could say 20.42 over, and somewhat surprisingly, 20.41 up, right? It's like almost the same number, right? It's still on its way up, though. The final velocity is that it's going over and this and up, right? Because remember, it was in the air for like, what, 4.27 seconds or something like that. So 1.5 isn't even half of that. So this thing's on its way up still. Its velocity in vector component notation would be 13.6 meters per second. X direction plus 6.25 meters per second Y direction. But it also said find it as an angle magnitude vector, but we're, manly or womanly enough to do that, right? So it's over and up. Notice I drew the 6.2518 smaller than the 13.616, right? And then you could find a magnitude, the square root of 13.616 squared plus 518. So the square root of that plus, notice I'm not rounding, that comes out almost exactly 15. Right, and then this angle, we'd want to label that angle. That angle there is going to be tan minus 1. We just do that over and over, right? Makes us feel smart. You get 24.7 degrees for that. Are we good? That's varsity question number 1. So when it says AM, I mean angle magnitude, so draw a picture of it. When you're doing your skill set, if this component's up, draw it up. If it's down, draw it down, stuff like that. Questions about the first one, first varsity question? Yeah? Yeah. I want you to draw me a picture just like this, label an angle, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Make sure your hypotenuse is an arrow too.